Hello, hello. Yes, we have this microphone working. What's up, Combate Global fans? What's up, BJJ fans? Today, I just want to keep it real casual because we have a broadcast coming up and I have to get my hair curled. My makeup's not fully done. This lighting is absolute trash, but I didn't bring my own light stand with me here today. So I'm not really expecting too many people to be in this live chat because I didn't have the time to promote it. But I do want to be more consistent about live chats in general. So cheers. Here's the last bit of coffee I have before the show. I don't like to drink too much caffeine before any type of broadcast because I already have crazy Asian eyes. And if I drink too much caffeine, it'll just exemplify that even more. So I want to talk about Combate Global returning. It is May 11th. Please don't look at the messiness of my room. I wonder if I can make that blurry. Whatever. You guys will have to deal with the controlled chaos that was this fight week because we have a all ladies main event, Alejandra Lara versus Gisela Luna. Now, I talked to Alejandra Lara, and I'm sure that a lot of my MMA fans are already so aware of how much a sweet soul she is. But I'm at a point in my life where I'm also just kind of traveling and training and going where the wind takes me, and that is 100% her personality. She is such a gem, and I cannot wait to see what she does tonight because she honestly has an even tougher set of skills that she's going to be facing against Gisela Luna. Alejandra Lara was originally scheduled for La Loba, who was more of a boxing heavy and front headlock style type of fighter. Now Alejandra is facing Gisela Luna, who, yes, doesn't have as much MMA experience, but she has a sneaky boxing record that even though it wasn't a winning record, she still has that ring time on the feet. So Alejandra has been battling some injuries, and she's finally in a healthy space emotionally, mentally, physically to get back inside La Jaula. This will be the first time in La Jaula for Combate Global, but obviously she's an MMA vet, so we cannot wait to see what she does tonight. But Gisela Luna, representing Buenos Aires, Argentina, she is a tank, and she is coming in on a mission because she wants to buy a house for her family. What more motivation do you need than to provide for your family? And she looks ready to go. She looked ripped at weigh-ins. The eye contact between these two during face-offs, it was like both of them holding stares for as long as possible. And their face-off wasn't even the spiciest out of all the ones that we got yesterday for Combate Global. There's going to be 4 fights tonight, but only 3 on the Fuse broadcast. And the second one that I'm most excited for is probably... honestly, it's probably a tie, but the co-main event is very interesting too because Tony Cortez has been compared to as MMA's Mike Tyson by CEO Campbell McLaren, and the chip that he has on his shoulder, the way he carries himself, the attitude he has, it's a little bit of that Stockton swag, that very in your face, call it how it is and let you know what's going on. So it juxtaposes Mauricio Rios's personality. He's a 10th Planet product. A lot of people have been doubting his striking. They kind of view him as more of just a grappler. But I spoke with him yesterday, and he says he's been training mixed martial arts. He's been working in the striking. He, of course, trains jiu-jitsu 4 times a week because that is his specialty, and he's still focusing on that. But he is finding ways to elevate his striking game and kind of shut up the haters that are like, oh, this guy's only a jiu-jitsu practitioner, because he is someone that a lot of jiu-jitsu people might be familiar with, training out of City of Mexico's 10th Planet. He's been on Combat Jiu-Jitsu's time and time again. So he's definitely going to bring the pace. As after all the trash talk that had happened with Tony Cortez, it's a highly anticipated fight. It was something that was supposed to happen in December. This fight was originally scheduled, and Tony Cortez missed weight by about 5 pounds. And there's a couple of different sides of the stories that we're going to reveal on the broadcast. So basically, Tony had said that he was willing to give 40% of his purse if he takes the fight. And we have to get to the bottom of what really happened. But no matter what, we'll get a result tonight, and it won't matter everything that happened before this fight because someone's going to walk away with their hand raised, and someone's going to walk away with a 1 on their record as a loss, because both of these guys are undefeated, and they're both carrying the weight of the pressure of keeping their record as an undefeated record. So I feel it. I feel the pressure for them. I'm happy I'm not in there myself, but I am going to be competing sometime soon. So if you guys want to know news about that, make sure you like and smash that like button, and let me know in the comments if anyone is here and has any specific picks about Combate Global, because we have a great event coming up. But don't forget to smash that like button so we can push this content to people who would want to see it. Okay, so the third and final fight of the Fuse broadcast is going to be between Jimmy Pace Jr., aka Jimbo Slice, against Jaden Ortega. Now, I wasn't super familiar with Jaden Ortega ahead of this matchup. He was scheduled a little bit on short notice, and he is fighting out of Spokane, Washington, which is where one of our fan favorite fighters from Combate Global, Melissa Amaya, is from. They train together. They're training at DL Training Systems for Strength and Conditioning, a lot of work at Sick Jitsu. He says that his inspiration and reason for getting into it was that he was a really good football player, now turned into MMA. And basically his coach, during the recruiting process for football season, COVID kind of pushed all that away, which is kind of like, I feel like something that happened to a lot of people. Like if you were involved in regular sports, whether as an athlete, someone covering the sport, or whatever it may be, COVID changed everything because it canceled it. And then now you kind of had to look for anything else to do. And some of the only things going on during COVID times were MMA related activities, aka like the UFC. They kept the show going on. So a lot of people really started getting addicted to the martial arts. So I think 2020, although it was like a crazy, horrific time for a lot of people, it kind of pushed a lot of people to get more into combat sports. So I think that's like a beautiful thing that happened, a positive coming from a negative. But anyway, so Jaden Ortega, he got into combat sports training because he was very athletic in football, but he wasn't sure where he was going to take it from there. And like his opponent, Jimbo Slice, who also played football, they both have that machado, a little bit of ego chip on their shoulders. So when they were facing off yesterday, things got heated. Jimbo Slice always brings the drama, the theater to face-offs. This time he didn't even have any props or anything, though. We've seen him get real creative with his Grim Reaper, where he literally tied someone up. Another one where he was carrying a baby stroller saying, like, I'm your daddy. Different theatrical things to kind of get under the skin of his opponents. But Jaden seemed pretty unfazed. And then he even took it up a notch and made a comment about Jimbo Slice's lisp. I'm like, oh, out of all the things we're going to poke fun at, can't it be like our fight skills or, anything else but just how we speak? But yeah, Jaden Ortega took it there, and it did look like they were both getting under each other's skin. So I think this one, you're going to see a lot of haymakers be thrown, but we're going to see a more calculated Jimbo Slice, as long as he doesn't let his emotions get in the way, because he is coming off of his first loss against Chile's Christopher Ewert, and that was like a big wake-up call for him. So he's really wanting to redeem himself and showcase a type of style where he's not gassing out, where he's picking his shots a little bit more wisely and looking to, of course, get that finish. So we cannot wait for that. And so that is our card. We also have another card that won't be on Fuse. It'll probably air at a different time, between John Marquez and Abraham Ilea. And I know Abraham trains with the Raul brothers for about a year now, and he also Uber drives on the weekends to make ends meet. So he's a real hardworking guy. I saw him briefly yesterday, and I cannot wait to make content for them for Combate Global's TikTok that recently reached 250,000 followers. That's a 250,000. Now we just have 750,000 to go, and we'll be at 1 million. Like, I started growing the Combate Global's TikTok at 300 followers, and now we're at over 250. So it's just such an honor, and I'm so happy if any of my subscribers were the ones that followed the TikTok. Even if you don't like to be on TikTok, I don't really like to be on TikTok either, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the bag. We're also on Snapchat. So if you guys could add combate_global. I literally hate how bad this lighting is. Like it's making my eye bags look so much worse than they actually are. But if you guys have Snapchat and would like to get more behind the scenes content with me as your host, please add combate_global. And don't forget, if you are in this group chat right now, to hello, Harlito, what's up? He's always supporting me. I love you. I always notice not few. I would say it's like 30 to 40 people who of like diehard loyal friends of mine via the internet that support me all the time. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I know there's so many other things you could be doing on this Saturday. So thank you. And yes, just smash that like button so we can get this content out to other people who are jiu-jitsu and MMA nerds. Oh, puta madre. Oh God. Just spilled my coffee. Luckily, this isn't the outfit I'm actually wearing for the event. So yeah, don't forget to check us out on Snapchat, TikTok. It really helps me out. And now I do want to briefly talk about WNO 23. We're going to do a deep dive on this, guys. Don't you worry, BJJ nerds. I actually didn't have time to watch the event yesterday because I've been preparing for Combate Global. But to give you a brief rundown of who beat who. In the undercard, these are like a bunch of up-and-comers. And as a jiu-jitsu practitioner myself, I'm going to be competing at the end of the month, guys. There's a teaser there. It's so awesome to see people rise through flow grappling and then get a chance on PGF, or they go to the ADCC trials and they make it and they shock the world. I really feel like jiu-jitsu is in such an embryonic stage, but we're really going to see it grow to be something so beautiful, and it's going to be right before our eyes. I feel like I can never fully understand how the UFC grew to the way it did because like I wasn't born yet, but I feel like now, since I'm literally experiencing it, you always learn things more through experience. Like if you visit a country, now you know where it is on a map geographically versus like if you're trying to study for it for a history test. So like if you have been and seen something, it just becomes that much more real and that much more special. And I really feel like jiu-jitsu and witnessing it happen before my eyes is such a beautiful thing. And I feel so lucky. So if you guys are jiu-jitsu nerds and were able to watch PGF, make sure you let me know how I did in my interviews. So first things first, we had Evan Levy versus Marlon Tanaka. It went to the referee's decision, and Evan Levy beat Marlon Tanaka. Evan Levy, he's trying to follow in his sister's footsteps, Amanda Levy, who had a horrific injury at ADCC trials against Miss Diamond, Elizabeth Mitrovic, who ended up winning in the final. So crazy family jiu-jitsu bloodline there, and they are coming for the top. Jessie Crane versus Cassie Amura. You know I always got to root for the jiu-jitsu girls that are showing out on such a big platform. They were all so sweet during the Flow Grappling press conference, which we'll talk about more in a jiu-jitsu news breakdown. But Cassie Amura defeats Jessie Crane via rear naked choke. So the second match of the evening ended with a finish. We love that. And then Lucas Lira versus Hassam Alabed. I wasn't super familiar with these guys. They're light heavyweight. Their match was 9 minutes, and Lucas defeated him by referee's decision. And then the biggest match on the undercard was between Achilles Rocha, aka Wagner Rocha's son, Jasmine Rocha's brother, and Cameron Couch. This is one of the first times that all three of them competed on the same card. It was a very special moment for all of them. And Achilles defeated Cameron Couch via armbar at 15 seconds. Wow. Firing a blast double leg takedown off the whistle, Couch fell to a counter armbar in the ensuing scramble in a lightning fast victory for Roca. Roca's armbar finish tonight is now the quickest submission in WNO history. All right, Achilles. All right, we see you. Baby Shark versus Shea Montague, and that is the first fight on the main card, only streaming on Flow Grappling. I'm gonna go watch back all this stuff, especially because I love a good anaconda choke, and that is how Baby Shark defeated Shea Montague with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left. Now on to Jasmine Roca versus Emily Ferreira. Jasmine Roca said once her brother got that win, the momentum would just keep on going for the rest of the family. And she was able to keep that momentum up in her 15-minute match against Emily Ferreira, who was like the cutest human ever. And she didn't even need all 15 minutes to do it. She defeated Emily Ferreira, getting the submission, a Yoki lock. That is becoming my new obsession. If y'all saw Jet Thompson at PGF get that Aoki lock, I actually recently had someone do an Aoki lock on me at 10 Planet San Diego, and I was like, all right, okay, you got my ass, okay. All right, now the next match, Nikki Ryan versus JT Torres. This is a welterweight matchup. I mean, JT Torres is as tough as they come. ADCC champ for 2019, lost to PJ Barch last year in the opening rounds, I believe. And Nikki Ryan also has a win against PJ. But these guys in the welterweight division are just always such a problem. But Nikki Ryan defeats JT Torres via straight. Oh, I dropped my mic. I was so excited. Via straight ankle lock. So go Nikki Ryan, my favorite grappler. He is just the sweetest bean ever. I totally choked and didn't ask him for an interview at ADCC trials. But you know, when things are just happening so quickly, it's kind of like you don't want your first encounter with someone to be like you asking for something. So I'm like, all right, maybe just let me chill. Let me chill. All right. All right. Now, Felipe Pena in a closely fought bout between ADCC and WNO vets. Pena pulled off the victory, appearing to control the pace by referee's decision. And then Andrew Tackett. Andrew Tackett is the guy that's on the rise. He is not even on the rise. He's just at the top of the top. He's beaten some of the best that we've seen. He's beaten Andy Varela. He's beaten PJ Barch. He has a lot of big names on his record that I'm kind of surprised he wasn't at the PGF tournament. I feel like he could have made welterweight, but here he is. He pulled guard against Lancaster, and Tackett went to work on his guard, passing and found his way to Lancaster's back. Via rear naked choke, he wins at 8 minutes and 2 seconds. He just always finds a way to people's back. It's a beautiful, beautiful work of art. And finally, Nicholas Marigali versus Wagner Rocha, the one press conference that got a little bit heated and personal, and Wagner was trying to say that Nicholas Marigali acts like someone that he isn't. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. I feel like Nicholas is actually how he presents himself in interviews. Like he's kind of just this smart ass that brings up some good points every now and then, I must admit. But yeah, I don't get the vibe that he's being someone else that he isn't. Maybe if I knew him in person and then I saw him on camera, I would feel differently. But since I only see him, what he's like online, it doesn't seem like I don't know, like a Colby Covington type of facade that he's trying to bring off. But anyway, this was a heavyweight matchup, main event on Flow Grappling between Nicholas Marigali and Wagner Rocha. Starting his path to victory with an arm drag to a foot sweep for the takedown, Marigali displayed beautiful passing as he worked his way to side control and then mount before taking Roca's back. After a brief recovery from Wagner, Marigali worked back to mount before transitioning to an arm bar for the finish. And that is your WNO 23 results. Guys, I got to get my makeup done at Combate Global. It is going to... we also are shooting something before that's a surprise. I can't wait to tell you guys what's going on with that. But I hope you enjoyed this like brief, again, super casual WNO Combate Global update. I want to do a whole post-fight series with about PGF and ADCC news as well. But until then, I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to follow Combate Global on TikTok and add them on Snapchat at Combate_Global. And smash that like button for me. If you love me, I would appreciate it so much. It really does help. My channel starting to grow bit by bit, and it took so long to get here. So I'm so thankful for all the people that choose to tune in. And I will see you guys at the next live chat. Mwah!